There's been a number of recent articles explaining why Chinese companies in China are able to manufacture products at a better quality for a much lower cost versus their competitors. Now, Tesla and CATL, two of the most powerful companies in the world right now, have entered into a strategic partnership that will undoubtedly bankrupt many of their competitors. Watch out. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Electric Viking. Fantastic to see you. And I'm so excited. I just want to talk about the video. Not necessarily excited in a good way, just excited because this is really, really important news in the EV landscape. Not only in the EV landscape, in the global landscape. And I'm talking about CATL here. CATL is currently the 9th largest company in Asia. It's actually a lot smaller than the first and second largest companies, but I believe it will become the largest company in Asia by the end of this decade. I'm very confident of that fact. And something has just happened which signifies this intention from CATL. Now, CATL primarily manufactures lithium iron phosphate batteries for Tesla and a number of other companies. Interestingly, Elon Musk just said lithium iron phosphate batteries are the battery of the future. Guess what? He didn't say anything about supercapacitors. So let's not look at the hype. Let's look at the reality. Who is moving to lithium iron phosphate blade batteries? Much of the industry. One of the reasons for that is the fires in vehicles made with competing battery chemistries, such as those in the Chevy Bolt and a number of Hyundai vehicles which have also been recalled. LG Chem made batteries for those cars. They've recalled them all. It's cost billions of dollars. And what is LG Chem doing now? Oh, they're suddenly pivoting to lithium iron phosphate. Well, trying anyway. It may be too late, I think. LG Chem, don't get me wrong, they're a huge company and they're doing well, very well in fact, but I think their orders are going to slow down significantly as a result of these recent fires. Who will that benefit? It will benefit CATL. Now, CATL right now are the world's biggest battery manufacturers, and they have expanded by 253% year over year. Now, I see this kind of growth rate happening every year for the next 9 years, which would make them, well, exponentially bigger than they are today, that's for sure. Now, what is the hottest battery chemistry? The battery chemistry that CATL primarily manufacture, LFP. LFP batteries have noted an increase of 1,500% in deployment over the past year. Now, this 1,500% is, I think, an understatement. One of the reasons for that is that lithium iron phosphate batteries are the most likely battery chemistry based on mountains of research that I've looked at to be deployed in stationary batteries. In a few years' time, that may change to sodium batteries that CATL are also working on primarily for the use of energy storage. But until that happens, it is most likely that most energy storage will pivot and change to lithium iron phosphate, primarily because it is so much cheaper and the number of cycles you can get, plus you can fully recharge the battery and fully exhaust it without actually having any battery degradation. So technically, when you buy a car, if you buy a car with NCM or NCA batteries or any other chemistry pretty much, you are recommended by the manufacturer not to charge it above 80% and not to fully discharge it unless you have to, like you're going on a road trip, right? LFP batteries, you don't need to do that. So if you're going to sit by a car and you see the range is 20% higher for a competing battery versus the LFP version, well, is it really 20% higher? Yes, it is in extreme use cases such as road trips, but in everyday life, the actual range would be identical. So you need to consider that when you look at the car. Now, overall, the battery market is growing like never before at a crazy level, and with already announced investments in just a few years, it will reach a level of over 1,000 gigawatt hours annually. Now, to put that into context, according to Adamas Intelligence, in the first half of 2021, the total global battery capacity deployment onto roads in all newly sold passenger EVs combined amounted to 108 gigawatt hours, up 157% year over year. So experts are predicting that will increase to 1,000 gigawatt hours, or times a factor of 10 by 2023. You can see enormous growth for CATL. Now, what is CATL doing about ensuring growth? Well, number one, they're building factories at a pretty fast rate. One of those factories is a factory that they're building for Tesla in Shanghai. Well, it's not for Tesla, but it's to facilitate them manufacturing batteries for Tesla. Now, Tesla actually deployed more batteries in their cars than the sixth next largest manufacturers put together in the world. That comes from inside EVs. The sixth next largest in the world, BYD, Volkswagen, there's a few others there, put those together, and Tesla deployed as much as those six together combined. You can see Tesla has a desire and the need for a lot of batteries. Elon wants lithium iron phosphate batteries. He's said as much. CATL plans to provide them, and Tesla will probably be the world's largest automaker by 2030. At least that's what I believe will happen, based on, well, thousands of hours of research there too. Now, CATL have just acquired a lithium mining company called Canada-based Millennial Lithium, and the purchase has been approved. Millennial Lithium released an official announcement about the CATL arrangement on its website. As per the agreement, CATL plans to acquire all outstanding shares of Millennial Lithium for Canadian $3.85 per share, or US $3 per share. So CATL will pay a total of US $298 million to acquire Millennial Lithium. The CATL arrangement was already unanimously approved by Millennial Lithium's board of directors. The board has recommended that Millennial shareholders and common share purchase warrant holders vote in favor of the CATL agreement. It seems a done deal. Millennial Lithium controls over 20,000 hectares of prime land in the famed lithium triangle. You need to listen to this, right? Chile, Argentina, and Bolivia make up the lithium triangle, holding more than 75% of the world's lithium supply in their salt flats. The Canadian company has 2 lithium mining projects in Argentina. 20,000 hectares of prime land in an area of the planet that holds 75% of the world's lithium supplies. That is a lot of potential lithium for CATL. Now, as I already mentioned, CATL has grown massively over the last few years to become the world's largest lithium-ion battery manufacturing company. Their growth has truly been staggering. In August, the China-based company announced it would sell $9 billion in stock. The proceeds would go towards new battery facilities so that CATL could increase its production capacity. Millennial Lithium may help CATL streamline its supply chain for battery production, and obviously ensure it has enough supply to be able to continue to grow at these incredible rates, 253% per year. To keep on growing like that, they need a secure supply of lithium. CATL provides cells for Tesla's lithium iron phosphate battery pack, equipped on the Made in China Model 3 Standard Range Plus. Elon Musk explained the advantages of an LFP battery pack recently when Tesla gave Model 3 SR Plus pre-order holders the option to receive their vehicles early. Giga Shanghai was named Tesla's main export hub in the second quarter this year, supplying vehicles to China, Europe, and other countries such as Australia. Now, CATL will obviously need to increase its production capacity as Giga Shanghai continues its work, as demand for Tesla's cars continue to increase around the globe massively as well, of course. Now, remember, Elon actually said, right, when he was asked a question on Twitter, should I buy the lithium iron phosphate version or the NCM version of this battery pack? Elon said, you should buy the lithium iron phosphate version. Now, the crazy thing about this is Tesla have, about 12, 11 models total, if you spread them all across. So the Model X has 2 models, the Model S has 2 models, then of course Model 3, there's a series of models, and Model Y. It comes out to, I think, about 10 or 11. Only one of those models, right? Only one, the base model for the Tesla Model 3 and the base model for the Tesla Model Y come with lithium iron phosphate battery pack. And yet, Elon is saying that is the battery chemistry of the future. So in other words, he's saying 80% of the vehicles we sell are not the battery chemistry of the future. If he's that bullish on the technology, I'm pretty confident that it is the battery technology of the future. In addition to that, as you know, BYD lithium iron phosphate batteries have been promoting the hell out of their batteries being the safest battery chemistry in the world. And it comes at a time when, like I said, battery fires are a significant issue in electric cars. Even though, yes, it's much more common to see battery fires in ICE vehicles, still, the industry wants to be better than ICE in every way. They want to prevent these issues from happening. How can they do that? How can car manufacturers be certain they're not going to see these issues happen in their cars? That is lithium iron phosphate. It's cheaper as well. BYD is making ICE vehicles redundant because their electric vehicles are the same price. What's happened to BYD? Their EV growth has grown at a staggering rate this year. They sold, right, 10,000 more electric powered vehicles per month for 4 straight months in a row. 40,000 it was in June, July 50,000, August 62,000, and September 72,000. That is astronomical growth. And that means now that 90% of BYD's vehicles have moved to being electric. You can see why BYD and CATL are focusing on lithium iron phosphate batteries, and you can see why. I would love to invest in CATL, but I can't. It's almost impossible if you're not in China. But I can invest in BYD, and so I have. And if you're in China and you can invest in CATL, I highly recommend you do so as soon as you can. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.